You are not a sensei. You're a con man.
Hey ninjas!
Hiya!
Welcome to the Cobra Kai Corner. I am Grasshopper Shelley.
And I am Sensei Daniel.
And before we get into today's episode, I need to give a big shout out and a big thank you to our new subscriber, Tess Fuller. So thank you so much for watching and liking and subscribing. And as always, comment below if there's anything you want us to talk about, anything you want to correct us on.
I know of a whole bunch of foolers right here in Edwardsburg.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I don't know if you're related.
Maybe. Okay, so without further ado, what are we going to talk about today?
Today is a combo show of characters once again, as they don't have the largest roles, although they do have fairly consistent roles throughout the series. We're talking about Aisha, Moon, and Yaz. So I know that Shelley has dug up as much as she can find on them. So as we always do, we start the show off by hearing the facts. So let us know what the facts are.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, so first we're going to talk about Nicole Brown, a.k.a. Aisha Robinson.
Cuckoo-cuckoo, Mrs. Robinson. Not really.
Hey now.
Well, you know.
Come on now. Her alternate name is Nicole Lynette Brown. She was born on, get this, January 30th, 2001. Our son, his birthday, January 30th, 2001. So that makes her 24 years old. Her height is 5'9". She's a tall one. And she is best known for Cobra Kai, American Mother, and Raven's Home. And that's all I could find.
Raven's Home. Sounds interesting.
I dug up a fun quote I thought was a cute quote from the show. And her quote as Aisha, she said, "Sensei would never kill himself. It's too pussy a move."
That's true. I remember her saying that.
Yep. All right. And up next, we have Hannah Keppel, a.k.a. Moon. Moon Taylor. Her nickname in real life is Hannah Elizabeth. She was born November 20th, 2000. She is from Asheville, North Carolina. Aside from her role as Moon on Cobra Kai, she's also worked on some other smaller projects and TV shows. She also made an appearance as Emily on Tell Me Your Secrets and Christy Ray on Your Worst Nightmare.
I feel like now that she's been on Cobra Kai, I feel like she will get some more roles too.
Well, she might have had more roles. It's just what I could find.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if any of you know more, comment below, let us know.
I mean, I thought she did a great job of playing a dopey-ass hippie
She's
broad or
adorable.
whatever,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I feel like
she's
she'll
real
get
cute.
some more stuff going.
For sure. And I have a funny quote of hers from the show. As Moon, she said, "We don't have to punch. Hey, let's go get some brunch and be friends."
Yes, that's from the sit-in where she's singing, actually, I remember.
Yes. And the last, our third girl for today we're going to talk about is Annalisa Cochran, a.k.a. Yasmin, or Yaz.
She is mean, so that's a good...
Yeah. I don't know if it's
Yasmin
Yasmin
is a perfect name.
or Yasmin.
It's Yasmin. I've heard,
Okay, well,
what's his
there
name?
was Yasmin Bleeth, and it was spelled the same way.
Right.
Remember back in the day, Baywatch? But, yeah, so Yasmin, but Yaz, for short, is what they call her. And I don't know...
She is mean, though.
Yeah, she is really mean. But I don't know where in the United States she was born, but it says she was born in the United States.
From parts unknown.
She is from unknown. And her height is 5 foot, 5 inches. Okay, and she's had a lot of TV roles.
Well, let's hear them.
All right, so also known for her role as Addie Prentice in the Peacock series, One of Us is Lying. Do you remember watching that?
Vaguely.
Yeah, we watched it a while ago, but it was good. And she first expressed an interest in acting after when she was 15 years old, and she watched Narnia, that movie about the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And then she began acting professionally at age 17. Her first role was in a Lifetime movie called The Bride He Bought Online.
I think I remember that movie too, actually.
Really? We watched a lot of Lifetime.
I've watched a lot of Lifetimes.
They're not bad. They're cheesy, but
of Lifetimes.
She was also in another Lifetime movie, the Baby Daddy. She was also in Modern Family. She played a part, like a guesting role in Modern Family. The Night Stalker, Major Crimes, Air Jaws, Henry Danger, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Famous in Love, Days of Our Lives.
Didn't you have a friend that was a Night Stalker?
Yeah, that's for another show.
Yeah, only those who know us and our friends will get that.
Yep.
But
Yep.
actually pretty hilarious.
It sure is. That's for another episode. Oh, yeah. She was in one episode of Days of Our Lives, which obviously was way after we quit watching it. Young and the Restless, Cobra Kai, Heathers, NCIS Los Angeles, Weird City, Into the Dark, One of Us is Lying, The Good Doctor, and NCIS. So that's quite a few.
Yeah, I mean,
TV
considering
roles.
her age, she's doing okay for
she
herself.
is. She's so pretty.
I feel like in 10 years from now, she'll return to the Lifetime movie studios, and she'll probably bang out a lot of Lifetime movies.
Yeah.
Okay, you got anything else?
I just have the fun quote that
Okay.
was from when she played Yaz. She said to Dimitri, after the whole, front wedgie thing, I know what it's like. Sucks to have everyone laughing at you.
Indeed, and I'm actually going to discuss that a little bit in my portion.
All right.
That's the synopsis of Moon. I think it's interesting.
Excuse me.
She experiments around with the other girl. Let me just say that about Cobra Kai, regardless of any of the characters. I think a lot of the older generation, at least, am so grateful that they use some restraint and they leave some things to the imagination. Okay, so they made her be a lesbian for a short while, but we didn't have to watch any love-making scenes between the two of them.
We got it.
And, that goes for the straight couples, too.
Absolutely.
We saw Johnny and Carmen wake up in bed together, but we didn't have to see them. We know what happened.
See the act.
Right, we know what happened. And so, me and I think a lot of the older generations, and maybe some of the younger ones too, I hear Morals are making a comeback. That'd be great. That would be great. But I think at least some of the audience, I know me and my wife, appreciate the fact that they didn't feel the need to shove that in your face.
Right.
The whole thing through. Because a lot of people do that to stay relevant, to stay popular with the younger generation.
Sex sells. Really.
And exactly, they use sex to sell. Cobra Kai is a substantial enough series to not need to sell itself that way. Which speaks pretty highly of it, actually, because most of these shows wouldn't get by without it.
Right, this is true. It's true.
So, I think it's interesting that she experimented that way, and then it was over, and she moved back, and she gave Hawk another chance. Of course, who doesn't? Who doesn't give this asshole a second chance?
It's for Hawk show.
I know. But, yeah. So she gives him a second chance, and I don't know. Once the writers decide who she is, they pretty much keep that consistent throughout the show. And I think she does a good job. Like I said, I think there'll be more roles for her in the future. But I guess we'll see. So next is Yaz, who apparently has already had a whole gang of roles. What can I say? I like Yaz for a few different reasons. I like Yaz because she reminds me a little bit of me when she's being a meanie and a bully a little bit. I mean, hey, let me say this first of all. I grew up a fat kid, so before I made fun of people, I was made fun of. It's a rite of passage.
I think that's why you became a bully, though.
Well, it is. As I quit taking crap from people and I started punching them in the face, and it doesn't have to be called respect. It can be called fear. I don't care. Either one works, quite honestly. Anyway, she's a bully. I was a little bit of a bully myself. Were. So I can appreciate that, but like I said, like I was saying earlier, I really appreciate that when she got the front wedgie from Aisha, that she didn't just creep into the background, and then, since she knew what it felt like, when she wrote that on Dimitri's cast, I thought that was a really
It was a class
cool
act. Yeah.
part of the show.
Yeah.
And it really makes
like
you start
that.
to say,
Like, she has a
maybe
heart.
she's not so bad.
Right. Maybe she learned her lesson, you know.
She at least learned some of them. You know what I mean? She learned
She's
a little
still kind
bit.
of catty throughout.
Well,
but,
that's just who she is.
But yeah, that's her
just who she is.
personality. But,
But
yeah.
she learned some humility. And when she wrote that on his cast, I was just like, that was a really awesome thing for what was the school cool popular girl to write on the biggest school nerds cast. And we all know what she wrote.
Right.
So yeah, I kind of like Yaz because of that. And the fact, and I like I said earlier, that they didn't just write her out after the front wedgie and make her disappear into the background. They kept her all throughout the whole series.
Her character kind of grew and you know, matured, sort of.
And I like the fact that even when Dimitri starts going out with her, this dude's still a complete nerd. I mean, check out that Pac-Man sports coat that he wore to the dance or whatever it was.
The 80s dance?
Yeah, he wore this Pac-Man freaking sports coat. Okay. So, and she just accepts it because she feels differently about things now. So that's her character development. She goes from a mean girl to a semi-mean, semi-nice girl. Turns Dimitri's life around, and I'm so glad for him too.
Yeah.
Yay
He
for you,
deserved a
Dimitri.
good
You
girl.
didn't think you were going to get laid until you made it out of college and through your first apprenticeship. And there you were getting with, according to this show anyway, was the hottest girl in the school.
Yeah.
So, good for you.
And I I just want to reiterate what you said. I do like the fact that he didn't change who he was. He didn't care who was around him or whatever. He stayed true to who he was. And that made me like him.
Dimitri, I am always saying there's only a very few characters who you don't change how you feel about them in the show. One of them being Miguel.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of them is, in fact, Dimitri. You pretty much feel good about Dimitri through the whole thing. And who didn't love it when he kicked Hawk's ass through that trophy case? Good for you, Dimitri.
I think he loved it more than anyone involved.
It was time for him to get his just desserts against that son of a bitch. So anyway, that is our show about Aisha and Moon and Yaz.
The girls. I mean,
we got to do
more
these
girls,
combo
but-
shows because they're very important to the show.
Yeah.
Characters. Sometimes there's just not a whole lot to say about everybody. But next week, I'm hoping that we find a whole lot to say about the LaRusso siblings.
Yeah.
I think,
We'll do brother,
I don't know
sister
why,
show.
much like Shelley, I don't necessarily always care for Samantha LaRusso's character. I don't know why, though. I feel like Mary Mauser, the actress, is
I like her.
I feel like she's such a nice girl.
I like her. I don't have a problem
I could
with
be
her.
completely
She's a great
wrong,
actress,
but
I
so
don't
far,
like her
in all the
character.
interviews that I've watched or whatever.
Oh, she's nice. She's nice.
Now the boy Anthony, I don't know jack crap about him. I've not seen him.
I'm sure he's nice.
You know, I watch a lot of these things where they got the cast doing trivia or little interviews. Haven't seen Anthony a whole lot.
But yeah, no, Mary Mauser.
We're gonna find out
really
about
nice.
this
I
lady
like her
here.
as a person.
This lady here will do the fact fetching and dig into exactly who Anthony LaRusso is.
Nerd Patrol.
So that's the next Cobra Kai cast member character development show that will be coming up. And then we can't get our way around it much longer. We got to do Ralph Macchio and Daniel LaRusso.
Of course.
After that, so we're going to be doing bam, 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 the LaRussos.
And he's going to have his very own show because there is going to be so much to say about him. And if it wasn't for him, there would be no Karate Kid.
And I feel like Amanda might have her own show too. I don't necessarily, I do have a lot of commentary, but I feel like she's done a lot that we just aren't thinking about or knowing about.
Yeah.
By her age, I feel like she's
And
accomplished.
she looks familiar to me. Like,
Exactly.
I
feel like on your end when you start digging up things about her,
we'll be like,
you're gonna find all kinds
Yeah.
of crap. So, anyways, that's what's coming down the pipe on this section of the show.
Yes.
So until next week, I guess. Hiya.
And please like, comment, share. Thank you guys all for watching. We appreciate all of you. We love you. And hiya.
And one more thing. I was not aware that my brother-in-law and sister-in-law watched the show.
Tammy and Kenny, shout out.
Tammy
We love
and Kenny.
you.
Thanks for watching.
We love you guys.
Be great to have a visit from you.
Yeah,
Actually,
be
what
awesome.
would be greater is if we could get the hell out of here and come and visit you. That would be swell as hell, but probably not going to happen.
No, they live in a warm place.
Shelley told me you guys
We live
watched
in
the show,
Michigan.
so hiya to you guys.
Hiya!